Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to get your GPX on. Presenting the 2002 GPX model C3142 SM AM/FM cassette personal stereo. This is one of the things I got for Christmas this past year, and I figure I have been so overdue in doing a video featuring some kind of audio equipment, so here we go. Anyway, this is kind of an interesting specimen here. It's a kind of a low-end product, but it's at the same time, it has surprised me. Of course, it touts auto reverse, which is kind of nice to see on something like this, as well as a 4-band preset graphic equalizer with settings for rock, pop, classic, or jazz. I usually leave it on rock or pop, depending on what tape I'm listening to on this device. Anyway, here are the cassette controls: play, stop, fast forward, and rewind, which is again kind of nice to see on something like this. A mode switch for playing each direction once or continuous, and a direction button, as well as an indicator for forward or reverse, which for some reason is marked rewind. An 1/8-inch stereo headphone jack, volume control, and a function selector on top for tape, AM or FM, and a tuning control. And they had to do a couple of things to it when I first got it, but it is mostly working. It's pretty much functional now. Anyway, belt clip, which is removable. I can get it on there with one hand. There we go. Battery compartment, 2 AA batteries. I can get the thing closed. There we go. Anyway, here's the data sticker. It's a GPX model C3142 SM, which is for their soft metallics line. I'm not sure why. AM/FM cassette personal stereo with auto reverse. AM, of course, your typical 530 to 1710, and your FM 88 to 108. Receiver complies with Part 15 of FCC rules, blah, blah, blah. Distributed by GPX Inc., 2122 Carr Street of St. Louis, Missouri. Made in China. As well as a serial number, which indicates this thing was made in 2002. Now, when I first tested this thing out, the radio was actually the FM the alignment was quite a bit off, and it still is. And reception, unfortunately, on FM, I'll have to give kind of mixed reviews about, because you can only pick up the strongest signals around here. But the AM actually surprised me. It's still also out of alignment, but it actually picks up pretty much all the stations on AM around here. And for the cassette, it uses a typical tension mechanism for an auto reverse deck like this. And when I first got this had a really bad problem with wow and flutter. And I mean, it was so bad that I can barely make out what was on the tape. Here's your rewind. Don't know how you can see that. And your fast forward. And for some reason, when you go into the reverse direction, it hangs like this. You gotta hit rewind in order for it to activate, and once you do, though, hit stop and play, and it activates. And the strange part is that when you actually hit reverse going back to forward, it works just fine. So I highly suspect that this thing needs a new belt, but I tried getting the back off this thing. As you can see right there, a little bit of my handiwork, if you will. Unfortunately, that screw was the last one that needed to come out, but it would not move. So right now, even as is, it's still functional, but it's not perfect. Anyhow, I will give you some samples of what this thing sounds like. Now let's try AM.
AM 94.7 WLS FM HD2 Chicago. News is next, but first your Yeah, we understand.
A lot of stations at night. Now FM I'm not going to do too much with because the reception on that band is not great.
And making improvements at E.J. Whitmire Stadium increase. You know, she draws.
Now for cassette. As you can probably hear, there's still a bit of wow and flutter on this device, but unfortunately there's not much I can do about that right now until I can get the back off and hopefully get a new belt installed. But for now, this will have to do. Fast forward. Rewind. And unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, I can't get it going to the reverse direction without a little bit of help because of that. So gets hung like that. So for example, if I have to press rewind with the tape door open and then close it back up, press play. But going into the forward direction, I can actually, it works just fine. Can't play too much of that, of course, but anyway, this is the tape I was using for the demonstration. One of my own mixtapes. Anyhow, that has been the GPX C3142 personal stereo system. Proof that you can't always sort of judge a book by its cover, but at the same time, it's not perfect. Then again, what is? Anyway, that's all for now. See you later.